I kind of got a chuckle about something. I thought I'd share it, so I grabbed the vlogging camera real quick. I didn't even set up the microphone, so we're going with internal mic here. So this is what I'm doing. Now I've had the mobility carts working for about a week, and I absolutely love them. I know it's an overused term, but absolute total game changer. And I'll tell you all about that in a future better produced video, because this is a multi-use thing. Really kind of cool. And they're working 92, what I had was 92% there. And I might have lived with it, except there's already, just from dropping in and letting you see it, there's already a ton of interest. So I'm going to do some plans for it. And I'm going to do the plans, at least initially, I'm going to offer them for $5. They may be $10 in the long run. But I got to thinking of the great expense that goes into developing a tool, something like this, and then putting the plans together and selling them for $5, because having the information, if I could have gotten this information, I could have saved a ton of money. I mean, to start with, I started making them out of 12 millimeter, and a lot of time, a lot of hours and material that I cut up and assembled them, and it sort of worked. It was a really good task, because it showed me what I needed to do and what wouldn't work. Then I got the wheels, this set of wheels here, excellent wheels, and get a set of 4 in the box with all the hardware, templates to mount, nicely made, good reviews, and they work pretty good. But there's just a little bit of flex in them, not much, but just enough. You know, it only comes up 3/4 of an inch off the floor, and so if you weight them down, there's one wheel on the corner where I have the table saw cantilevered off to one side, so it works fine, except every now and then that caster won't turn as easily as the other ones. And there's also just the tiniest bit of flex, almost imperceptible. But when you forecast it over the whole size of the bench and everything, you know, there's a little bit there. So I ordered another set of wheels, same wheels, except these are rated at 800 pounds. The other ones are rated at 660 pounds. And if you put them side by side, the wheels themselves look identical. I wish they made a bigger one. I'd like something that jacked up to, say, 2 inches off the floor, but not a big issue. But when I study the hardware and I put them side by side with the others, these are much thicker and much stiffer. So if I'd have known that to begin with, in fact, when I do the plans, I'll put these wheels in the link on the plan so you can click on them. So because there's so many to choose from. And there's some really cheapies out there, but they're all fairly inexpensive. I got this heavy duty 800-pound set with everything, 4 of them in a box with all the hardware for $35 delivered, no shipping or anything. So really a good value. Well, the other thing I did was the design I came up with, and trying to keep it really minimalist. And I had a stiffener that went across, and I precisely placed it so it would fall right at the opening of the sawhorses. And it worked really good. Like I said, these are like 95, 92, 98, somewhere in the 90s to being like, yes, they'll work, because it's kind of version 2 and then some adjustments to it to get it to there. But with the wheels flexing a little bit, I also found just a little, you know, had to kind of study it and push on it and look at it. I found that they're in the ends where the wheels mount here, they're just this tiniest bit of flex if I push down on things. And so I decided to go with these stiffeners, make a tray out of it on both sides, which meant I had already pretty much decided this was going to work. So I had this middle stiffener in, and it was screwed and glued. So I had to take the screws out. I had to get it loose And as careful as I was, of course, the glue is not going to let go. The wood's got to break. So I fill this. I'm waiting on that to dry, and we'll sand that out. Of course, the screw holes, because I want it, you know, I like my stuff to look good. It's really important to me. I feel good. I do better work if my tools and everything I'm working with look and feel good. So I don't want some cobby thing that I've knocked apart and just reused material. So it's going to look really good. So I know, even though I haven't finished this one, I know that this one is going to be there because the other one was almost there, and I'm solving that little bit of flex in the design and that little bit of flex in the wheels. Added together, they were just enough that I want them to roll as smooth as possible. So anyway, I just thought it was interesting that I'm trying to get this just right. And then the plans, like I said, you know, are, you know, I think inexpensive, at least for our region, to transfer information that in labor and materials cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And that is what I love about this, the ability to go through this, take my experience, my time, and pass that information on in these videos for free, and then also to do the plans and keep the plan costs way down because we deliver them digitally, so we're not printing, we're not buying stamps. This day and age where I wish this kind of stuff was around when I was just starting my business 30 years ago. I bought books and read on, you know, I started in finish work and building cabinet shops, and I built a cabinet shop, a woodworking shop in my garage. And, you know, I bought books on successful people with small cabinet shops and mimicked what they did. And, you know, books were $30, $40. And then I publications and would read the articles. This YouTube thing and going online is just absolutely fantastic. So it made me smile, made me feel good that, you know, yeah, it's a lot of work and I'd like to get this done. And once I get this one 100% done, then I've got to take the other one apart and do it. So I'll have another, between just the remodel or the finishing this version, I'll have a whole day in the shop of just taking it from that 90% plus to 100%. Well, let's call it 99% because we know there is no ultimate, there is no perfection. There's always room to improve. And I keep mentioning that they are a mobility cart. There's a lot of cool stuff I'm going to tell you about how it's going to make a difference in how you work, whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or whether you take your stuff to the job. This is going to really, there's a really big area that I've struggled with for years, and I'm going to tell you all about that in the next video. But there's this other thing where I didn't start to make a mobility cart. I started to make something totally different, and it was the evolution of that led to this, but this still serves that other purpose and serves it even better. So it'll be a lot of fun to show you that as well. The first mobility cart is updated and ready to go. There is one change that you have to make to the sawhorses. There's a very specific width on this mobility cart. I could not make it any wider. You'll see why later. But when I added the side spreader stiffeners, that had to encroach into the space where the sawhorses went. So what I had to do is I had to take 8 millimeters off of each side, 16 overall. I'll go ahead and show you how simple it is to make the cuts on your sawhorses so they'll be perfect. I need to take 8 millimeters off, so I took my 400 millimeter spacer and I set the stop at 408 to make the cut. I'm not sure if that took 5 seconds or maybe 10 seconds, but you can see the sawhorse fits perfectly. If you enjoy these vlogs, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell so you'll know when I put up a new video. And if you get a chance, share this channel with somebody else. Hey, thanks for dropping into the Smart Wood Shop. You stay safe and have a great day.